Okay. We'll let them roll out, and then when they do roll out, we will pause it and try and discuss exactly what is going to happen. And is he going to stay on Hanzo? Yes, he's going to stay on Hanzo. Okay, so we're going to see old school double sniper on the end of China. Now, the reason that you're going to be seeing this is because Shy, as we've already seen, has an exceptional Widowmaker. His play was really, really strong in defense on multiple points and actually ended up clutching multiple times in fights where China should not have ended up winning up. Crystal on Hanzo, I don't know that we saw him a lot on Hanzo. He was mostly filling on the Brig role. And then he played Hanzo on defense on third point, and he did a pretty good job of it. I'm not familiar with a lot of the China players and have not seen all of the China maps. But the whole point of this composition on Gibraltar is utilizing your dive tanks to clear out high ground and then have your snipers capitalize on the high ground. Thank you for the follow. So what we're going to see here is we're going to see, like I said, the dive tanks are going to try and claim high ground. Oh, hey, Momo, what's up? And the sniper is going to use that high ground. Now, what South Korea is running is the exact same composition that we saw China running on defense, and that is the Ana Zenyatta, Winston Diva, and the Brig. Now, the reason why the Brig is popular here is because with the anticipation of the enemy team running snipers, the Brig does a good job of denying the enemy tanks clearing out high ground. So remember, the whole point of China is that they want to be able to clear out this high ground or this high ground so that they can have those sight lines. Now, what the Brig does is it gives her supports the advantage in that matchup and makes it very difficult for the enemy dive tanks to be able to claim this high ground because, as anybody knows, sure, that's fine, the Winston Diva going into dive tanks doesn't do very well. Winston Diva don't do great against Brig. So Brig just literally just sits there, holds her shield, dive tank touches, shield bash, swing, boop away, whatever. Now, what this means is, yes, in terms of raw damage, South Korea is going to obviously be inferior, but what this does is this usually means that Carpe is going to have the advantage in the duels, and that their dive tanks are going to have an additional source of healing. So with the healing, the armor pack from Fleta, he's going to be able to keep up Fate and Fury a lot more in these engagements. So South Korea kind of wants to engage tank versus tank, but they want to try and zone out the Hanzo and Widow, and they don't want long sight lines, so they needed to deny these sight lines. Now, what we saw China doing when they ran this is they had Brig on blue box. All right, this is called blue box. And what happened here is that the blue box was only contested for a brief period of time, and the Brig, for whatever reason, fell down and held down here. In fact, Shy on his Widow was also down here. And what this meant is that South Korea got this sightline for free. And they kept that sightline to the point to where eventually they just capitalized off of the use of high ground and ended up winning the fight. This fight, high ground, was not even contested, and I think that was a big mistake on the side of China, especially considering they're running the Brig. So we'll see if South Korea does a better job of utilizing this Brig's ability to deny space, and we'll see how it goes, especially considering China's running double sniper. I anticipate that being a lot more important. All right, let's see what happens here. Some scouting going on from Fury. He knows what they've got. We're going to see Jonak go ahead and make the rotation down probably into server with Anima. So this means that they're safe. They have a good sight line onto the supports and tanks on blue box. And if they need to, they could pop out here. And this also means that as the fight progresses, they can rotate around to high ground here and heal from this direction, or even rotate around all the way. Yeah. Help me! All the way to here. Alrighty. You'll probably see Diva. So what you're probably going to see is Diva push the payload right until about here, and then she's probably going to join her Winston in contesting one of these high grounds. So they already have given away this high ground, and they're going to contest on this blue box, which is what we anticipate, because this means the Brig can't even get her shield poked down. She could just sit here completely unbothered by using this blue box until they jump onto her, and then she can use her cooldowns. So yeah, they're not poking, they're not taking any damage. There's nothing wrong with doing nothing right here. So Carpe takes an aggressive grapple. He is going to utilize this sightline now that his supports are here. Also, we're going to notice something right here. So this is important for you Widowmakers out here. I believe this happens anyway. I would be surprised if it didn't. I'm anticipating it being the case. So yeah, so Carpe never just takes a dry 1v1 here. So he's not just peeking for no reason. He's peeking with either Matrix or with his Diva body blocking. So don't take duels, especially in defense, if you don't have to, right? Don't take duels, especially in defense, unless you have some form of an advantage, whether that's a Winston bubble, whether that's your tanks diving in to cause pressure, or simply just having your Diva body blocking. So this makes sense. Where are our supports here? Are they in server? Where are they? Yep, server. Couldn't even see them with a white outline. But yeah, they're in server. Guxu is actually pushing point. That's interesting. Okay. I'm curious to see what the plan is here. Okay, so Carpe is... Where's Carpe here? So we're Fury is contesting payload. This is a good matchup for Fury. Fury can easily contest Guxu here, because Diva versus Winston obviously is heavily swayed in the direction of Winston, or Diva, excuse me. And she can also get the support of her Zenyatta. Now, where is Carpe? Carpe, I'm a little confused. Is he rotating? No, he's doing this aggressive peek. They want to go Guxu. So we saw this on both Widowmakers. They're doing a lot of unorthodox flanks here. So Carpe is actually all the way down here looking to pick off Guxu here. And we saw the opening pick on attack from Carpe was actually through this very same flank, but it was peeked this way. Remember we talked about Shy that was playing low ground? Carpe actually went through this and looked for a pick right through here and got it. So Carpe likes to utilize these unorthodox flanks. So Carpe's not even taking the duel. Carpe's not even taking the duel. He's making sure that the enemy team doesn't get those sight lines with the way his tanks and the Brig are playing, but he's not even taking the duel right now. He might, and with a Diva there, it's actually realistic that they could get a quick pick on Guxu. He would have to land a shot, and he'd have to be quick, but it is possible, especially considering where China's supports are. Guxu's in no position to be supported. Alright, so this is crucial. They are committing to Guxu right now. They are making a play on Guxu right now, and they are giving up this high ground right here. So Crystal damage boosted Stormbow breaks breaks Fleta's shield at the point to where he can't, or breaks it to the point to where he can't hold that high ground anymore. And so they're actually giving it up at the expense of going for a play here. I'd be surprised if we don't see Fate jumping this high ground once more, just to make sure that either Crystal or Shy don't get free shots. But this is a really unorthodox play from South Korea. Really unorthodox. They are going all in on Guxu there. Okay, so Shy drops, Late Young protects, and Carpe's gonna get out. Fury gets low. Yeah, so there's Fate's jump. He's gonna go back and contest high ground there. And all Fate is really doing is just making them use resources here. In terms of actual poke, whereas the double sniper definitely has the advantage in terms of just raw damage, I would say South Korea definitely has the advantage in terms of ultimates, whereas you see Nano versus Valk. Nano has the clear advantage in that matchup. So Fate taking a lot of poke here, Crystal taking some poke here. Animo is very happy, and in terms of ult charge here, you're going to notice something very important. Animo almost already has a nano, and Yvelte's not even close. So this means South Korea is going to be able to push aggressively, briefly, once this nano is charged. So once this payload gets to a contesting stage, they will be able to contest much more aggressively, even though they have the disadvantage in terms of damage. Okay, so this is what we anticipate Shy and Carpe to be doing. They both seem to like to take this duel here. It's an unsupported duel, but it's one that if you can take the element of surprise, you will be successful. But it's interesting to note that, I mean, they've both done it, so it's almost not as much of a surprise. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Fate is contesting here for free. I'm surprised Crystal's not committing a little bit more to that. I think he was a little low. Okay, they're going to hard commit on Fate. Fury's going to protect her tank. That's an interesting jump from Fate. Okay, so he's going to try and zone out the... That's a little risky if you ask me. He was at half health diving on top of a Zenyatta and Hanzo. So yeah, that's an interesting jump there. Very risky jump here, but he does get away with it. And we have an interesting duel from here. I really do not like this from Shy. So Shy has to know here that in terms of support, he's extending himself to the point to where he's going to get zero support from his team, whereas all Carpe really has to do is just peek out a little bit here. We can actually see Carpe has just recently been tossed armor pack. So looking at here, Carpe just got tossed armor pack. We just lost it. We just missed it. So Shy does not have the advantage in that 1v1. Plus the fact that the Diva is also there to assist if need be. Fate is really overextended here. I didn't like that jump at the Zen and Hanzo. And I'm surprised that he's staying as long as he is. I assume he's anticipating a nano. I'm expecting a nano boost right here. There's a nano boost. Called it, ladies and gentlemen. I called it. And we're going to see an aggressive dive. Fury's going to have boosters, so Fury's going to chase after that. Carpe's probably just going to keep Shy tied up. I don't think even Carpe will go for the duel. I think he'll just be there. And then Flood is going to stick with her on and Zen to make sure that they don't get counter dove. There's a jump. Does Fury follow? Fury doesn't follow. Interesting. Maybe Fate thinks that he can find value by himself. It's potential. Okay, so Crystal, where's... Yikes. So this is what I was concerned about. Carpe forcing a duel. Yeah, this is really silly of Carpe. Very, very silly. So all Carpe has to do on defense, especially when they have the nano boost advantage, is just survive. If you're on defense, you don't have to do anything. It's completely up to the enemy team to do something. And we're at 60 seconds here and nothing's happened. And that's completely okay. In fact, in terms of ultimates, as we already discussed, the longer fights go on defense, you have the nano boost advantage. It's likely that Jonak will probably farm up Trance before Leave does. So longer fights aren't a problem. Hanzo ult's not a particularly valuable ultimate. So my question is once Shy has already disengaged, what happens here? Because why does Carpe come here? Carpe, what are you doing? So he tries to get really greedy with his Winston, which I don't like. If anybody's going to be following Winston, it needs to be Diva here. Okay? Because not... And then he goes for the grapple shot. Really sloppy. I find it to be a very silly move. And because they don't have Mercy on their side, there's no res. This fight's basically a loss here. I think that, Shy is going to be basically uncontested now. They have nothing with range. I think this is a lost fight for South Korea now. Flood is going in deep. There's a sleep. She misses the nade. Sky is just sitting main. Sky rotates. They're pushing aggressively. Now, okay, so and this is what happens. So now that there's been no threat of range damage, so now they're going to double dive the supports, and these supports are dead. He grabs Mega, but don't think it's going to matter. Fury does get in there, but Fury's probably going to be demech, because what you're going to see is it's not just going to be Diva coming in here. You're also going to see Hanzo coming in here too. Well, they're dealing with Leave. Where's Shy? Where's our Widow? Yeah, Widow's going to be... Widow, not Hanzo's going to be going in here. So it looks like Late Young is going to be demeched. Nope, they're going to bomb. Interesting bomb. Was that a remeching bomb? Because we've been very, very angry at Late Young's Diva bombs. Oh, Late Young. Okay, so that was one of the other things that we wanted to talk about. Late Young had probably 3 bombs, I want to say, last on the offense, and all of them were bad. All of them. And now we're seeing her on defense, and now we're seeing on offense, and again, another bad bomb. She was at full health, and arguably is going to be doing less with the bomb than she would just be shooting. So even if this bomb gets kills, it's completely unnecessary. And more damage would have been accrued just by actually holding mouse 1 here. This is just really silly from Late Young. I've been very unimpressed with Late Young's bombs. So they're just gonna... Animo's just gonna take the L there. No Fed ult charge, whatever. And this is gonna be point 1. Bait's gonna just be annoying, and that's gonna be that. Alright, so what happened here? Well, Carpe overconfidence has been the Achilles heel of South Korea, doing silly things that they should know better than to do, and losing fights. About last map, or the earlier in the map when South Korea was on attack, Fate, overconfidence, not popping bubble, going in too deep by himself, got him picked. Fleta, overconfidence in his Genji capabilities, got picked and killed. And now we have Carpe, he goes for a really meaningless flank that was far, far too risky, not respecting the enemy teammates, then an aggressive grapple and gets domed. And then from there, South Korea does not have the protection in the server that they normally would. They haven't had a chance to farm up Trance. They haven't had a chance to farm up tank ultimates, and that's that. So I don't really think that was a great thing on the end of South Korea. I think good on Crystal to punish Carpe's mistake, but Carpe should not have been doing that in the first place. So we should be seeing China be looking to take high ground control, because unlike Genji, snipers have a harder time taking high ground, so it has to be done earlier. So I assume Carpe's got a bad spawn too, so they're going to be looking for Carpe, and then they're going to be looking to control this high ground here. Carpe, I assume, is just taking the L here. Yeah, Carpe is just going to be trying to get the DMAC, but he knows he's bad spawn, there's nothing he can do, so he's not going to drag out his death. I'm looking for high ground control. There's Guksu, he's going to be taking high ground control. I assume Shy is going to be grappling. Crystal's going to be shooting. Yep, there we go. So they have high ground control now. We're going to be rallying from Fleta. That's mostly just to get Jonak armor and tanks. And what the tanks are going to be benefiting from the armor is in this fight to control high ground, to take it from South Korea. They're going to have more resources. Now, when we're asking ourselves, what does the Brig bring to the table here? I think Brig can make this jump, right? So Brig could potentially sit up here and deny it, but not nearly as comfortably as she could in blue box, simply because there is little to no cover on top of the plane. So sitting on high ground makes less sense here for Brig. I would assume Brig is more to either contest payload with a diva, maybe to contest high ground like inside the plane. But mostly it's going to be just to toss armor pack. So I really think Fleta should be switching off this Brig, like as soon as he dies. Needs to be swapping, because Brig does not contribute much here. So there's our infrared. Jonak gets headshot by body shot, damage boosted body shot. What is going on here? Carpe is going in. Holy cow. Alright, so a lot of stuff just happened that I missed most of. So they are going to be looking to control the mid plane. Shy. Okay, so it was a damage boosted body shot, looks like. They're going to try and clear out the Hanzo, probably. Here comes the bomb. This is going to be a good bomb. Where's Fate going? Fate is just going to contest leave here on point, and he's got orb, so he can do so freely. Crystal's basically dealt with. Fleta does fall though, but Fleta is, as we anticipated, going to be contesting cart with another person on the team, and Fleta can do this more comfortably too because of the bomb. The only thing I am a little concerned about is Guksu is going to be tickling Jonak and Animo, and Guksu has primal. So there is no peel for Guksu or for these supports as long as this bomb is in the air. So if this bomb doesn't find kills, Jonak and Animo, or if Animo doesn't land his cooldowns, Jonak and Animo may have bit off more than they could chew with this play. So it does get trance out. Here comes the primal. Interesting. So Shy, with the Diva demacked and Space controlling payload, Shy takes the free easy kill, and that's a massive kill too. It's not just baby Diva, it's the fact that the bomb was used, right? So there's no remech opportunity for Fury now. So what we're going to see here is Carpe is going to be taking high ground, trying to win this duel. Thank you for the follow. To win this point, Carpe has to win this duel. Carpe has to win this duel against Shy. If Carpe does not win this duel, then this fight is lost for South Korea. All right, so the primal is doing its job because it's keeping the support off of Space, or off of Fate. Where is Fate? Where is Fate actually? Fate is trying to jump back. All right. Does force trance out, the bomb does. Carpe does win the duel against Shy, so that's an impressive shot here. We can actually see the body. Hey, Widow. That's funny. That's a nice. What's going on with Widow's neck? That's an uncomfortable angle. Heads shouldn't do that. So the headshot, we win the duel. All right, so let's reevaluate this fight here. So really, Jonak and Onindv rotating back a little bit to a more clear sightline. They need to be supporting Fleta right now, and I expect Guxu. Thank you, Lil Lucy, for the follow. They need to be supporting their Brig here. Brig can handle this fine, but if she's supported, Guxu's going to have to jump back. When he jumps back, what you're going to see is you're going to see Carpe aggressively grapple up here. Guxu's going to hold that position for her, and Crystal and Hanzo can't contest a Widow very well, unless he has the advantage of Sonic, and Sonic is obviously not going to be a factor here. So I actually think South Korea is going to win this one now. Yeah, Guxu's just basically feeding here. Wow, what happened to Fate? Oh my goodness, Fate got deleted. That should not have happened, especially with Nano available. So what happens here? Fate is where? So they're controlling. Leighton's gonna try and control this, but Guxu's. But really, Diva, so he does okay, so this is big. They do zone out Jonak. That's pretty big, because that means whenever you see, so this is always really bad. If you ever play comp or anything like that, this is always bad. Zen here, Ana here. You never want that. You never ever want that, because that means heals blocked off, damage blocked off, support blocked, like you're split here. Hey Spilo. Saw your clip in Fresh Nuts video. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I just couldn't believe it. I've had 2 clips in Fresh Nuts sort of videos, so that was my 2nd ever. So thanks for hopping in, man. I appreciate it. That was pretty cool. I actually had an article written about that. It was crazy. Remind me in a second, and I'll show you. It was obviously just a small-time gaming article, but I was like, hey, that's me. Coach Spilo is famous. Yeah, all 9 of my viewers love me. Ban Spilo. Nice try, Lucio. Good work. So Jonak is going to have to pop trance here. Yeah, there's the trance. He gets split. What could Jonak have done to prevent that? So as I said, I really didn't like the support's position that they're still here. I would have liked to see them, so especially, I would have liked a clean rotation, either this direction, or simply, I would have just simply liked them to rotate this way. Especially with this down. Like, Jonak is overstaying his welcome. Yeah, like, this rotation as a whole is really unfortunate. It's a poor rotation. But, well, again, so staying on target here, what happens to Fate? He must eat a discorded Hanzo headshot. That must be what happened. There's a Discord. That's a body shot, discorded body shot, I think. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yep, that's a Discord. That's a body shot from the Hanzo and another headshot from Leave. Fate. Goodness gracious, my friend. We've seen Fate die to similar circumstances multiple times. Was this the right move? No, this was not the right move. So this is just nicely landed shots, but Fate is playing. Leave is on the cart with a Hanzo on him. Solo diving when you have a Winston in your own backline is never a good idea, because you're not going to get supported through that. You're just going to get nuked. So even if Fate gets the kill here, he's still in a position to where he's likely to be killed. So Late Young takes the duel with Jonak. Fate takes the duel with Leave. But the difference is Leave was in a position to be supported, and he had the Hanzo help, whereas Late Young, it was just Jonak. That was it. So obviously that's going to go the way you'd expect. So Fate overextends again. And the really bad thing is that trance was used here. So yes, South Korea can still win this because, well, Crystal just died. That's unfortunate. But it's in a position to where they had to use their trance, and now Jonak is going to be behind in trance usage, and also Yvelte's going to be having a Valk to use as well. So if things get tight here, Yvelte will Valk, and looking at what South Korea has, there's really no good nano targets alive. So, alrighty. And there's the res too, so yikes. There's an early Valk, but they're gonna Nano on the Brig. Wow. Okay, so Nano on the Brig, who is supported by the Matrix. So why was Leave that close? Leave should have stayed on stairs. Yeah, so when payload is being contested, Zen should never ever be on payload. This is another good thing you can take from this and apply on your own comp games. Zen does not push payload unless he's just completely uncontested and there's not a better position for him to be rotating to before the fight happens. So, especially when the fight's contested here, there's no reason for Leave to be there. Especially, there's just no reason for him to be there. No reason whatsoever. Leave should be either here or over there in the stairs. And it looks like he takes... Oof. Yeah. Leave has consistently been out of position on Zenyatta on Gibraltar. And that pick is huge because that means that South Korea can cleanly stabilize. And even though they have given up the high ground, right now, until Shy comes back, and Shy is just now coming back, there's no real reason to contest plane right now. Not until Space comes back. So as long as Jonak doesn't get killed here, he's okay. I'm a little bit nervous about Jonak and Anima's positioning here. I'm also concerned about Fleda's positioning. Fleda does not have the mobility to get back safely. They need to know when, you know, when one fight is enough. You can't really push staggers without a Winston. So I anticipate them to rotate back again, and they need to do so quickly. Animo and Jonak and just need to rotate ASAP. All the supports need to rotate ASAP. Carpe taking the duel without Matrix. Carpe, goodness gracious, man. Why are you taking this? Like, this is just really stupid. Like, again, Carpe just got bodied, right? He's not matrixed. Yeah, this is just... See, the problem I have with this is, while, yes, Carpe... Shy is low too, and Carpe is trusting his mechanics, they're on the defense. They can't afford to get picked here. There's nothing wrong with just waiting. Fury goes in. That's pretty aggressive. Yeah, okay, so Fate is helping out Fury, drawing aggro. I was going to say, why Fury? What are you doing, mate? But Fury will be okay. We've got tank ults or Fate coming up, Fleta coming up here. Fate's just going to hold mouse 1. Yep, okay, so... As I said, the supports really need to rotate here. This is not a good position for the supports to be. There's no cover that you can take against this here when you're in that position. Just terrible positioning here. And they're also in a position to where they're so far back, this widow is so far back, that Fate and Fury cannot realistically contest this. So right now they're just playing the gamble game of, oh, I don't think Shy can hit a shot before we can make a play. And they lost that gamble. So... Jonak was just wildly out of position, and Animo is out of position as well, because we're forgetting here that even though with the Brig they have some sort of backline pressure, as Crystal takes this high ground here, which I anticipate he will, you have now a crossfire with 2 snipers that are uncontested. So that's eaten. Shy is going to be contested, but honestly that's not going to do anything, and Fate's going to die. Fate just needs to die here. Nope, he's got a primal. I don't like this primal. Don't like this primal at all. Again, we're gambling here. Again, this is a gamble primal from Fate. He is making the assumption that his teammates can make a play before he dies. Because if he feeds here, especially when you're talking about, you know, Discord, that's going to be a factor. You're talking about Hanzo. So much ult charge. Diva's point blank. Winston's peeling back. As long as Carpe doesn't get a headshot in the next 8 seconds, I think we're going to see a win fight from China. Best tip for a lonely, sad little Bastion main, understand when to reposition. Never be predictable. Like, if you're not playing with an Orisa, or even a Reinhardt isn't the best, but like if you're not playing with a hard shield on attack or defense, don't go crazy with your flanks. Don't be super greedy. But understand that you are a very vulnerable hero. And so being unpredictable with where you position, especially on attack, is defense too is a really good thing. And this also know when you've lost. So this if your surprise doesn't work instantaneously, and And even if your surprise does work and you kill one person, maybe two, you're done. Get out. Recon mode, and you're out of there. ASAP. Don't overstay your welcome, because you will get killed. So even with your healing, you're fat, you're slow. So you need to understand, like, if you're not playing with Orisa, you have to be unpredictable. Otherwise, you're a very unsuccessful hero. Also, one other tip, maybe I would say, is mechanics are important in terms of learning to right-click between your shots and your ult, and etc. I think that one's pretty well established, though. Okay. Fate, the timer ticking down. Carpe, actually, let's spectate Carpe. Carpe, the timer's ticking down, mate. What are you gonna do? What is Carpe gonna do? Is Carpe gonna land a shot in the next 8 seconds? Yvel, great movement. Wow, Animo with a kill and shy. Fate is extremely low, though. So they are going to contest the Widow. Okay, so it doesn't happen. However, I think the body shot was enough to force China to have to play more defensively. They zoned out the Hanzo, zoned out the Mercy. That being said, they did claim high ground. Why is Guksu that far in? We're going to have to rewatch this again. That's the thing with South Korea. I almost said Seoul Dynasty. They always have the potential to make plays. So while I'm getting on Fate's case for making what would be otherwise a really stupid play, they have a way of just this stupid stuff. Like come on, man. Like, are you for real? From downtown, a nade kill off of a primal? Like, what are the chances that Fate lands his primal into the corner on the stairs at the same time Animo is able to land a nade onto our, pretty little Widowmaker there? That's excellent. Just pop in a seat. Like, what are the chances of that happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just absurd that South Korea continues to make plays like these. But either way, we've got tanks that are low. Fury's going to back out. Fade's going to back out. He is going to be healed up by the Ana, which is much better at healing up tanks faster. And also getting valuable ult charge out of it. Carpe does have to drop, though, because Guksu and Late Young force her out. I'm a little surprised Late Young followed there. An unsupported Widowmaker, especially a Widowmaker who is, when you're jumping from cover, so Guksu is jumping from here into Carpe, so he can actually execute his jump. Let me get a little lower, this is more in his line. Okay, so Guksu is pretty much in cover from that jump, and as long as he executes the butt jump, so turns his butt mid jump, he can pretty much execute this jump uncontested. Yeah, he can, almost certainly, and he does not need Late Young's assistance to do this. All he has to do is zone Carpe out. Late Young following this is just really not needed. Late Young here would have been much better. Late Young on this Winston would have been made much more sense. I think this is just a massive respect towards Carpe, which I think is well deserved, but I still don't think the play is correct. Because this, like, with the Diva here, Fate dies. With the Diva here, Fate dies 100%. 100%. And Guksu kind of is off in a solo mission. And right now, Late Young is just not doing anything. So I don't know what the call was, but this is an error on the side of Late Young. If the Widow is unsupported, you don't need more than a solo Winston to deal with it. You shouldn't send anything more than a solo Winston, especially when the enemy team is running dive, because Fate gets completely away with this. And again, like, if Fate should not escape here. He's not primaled, so he is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's 100 health right now. That's one body shot away from being killed. Hi, Dad. Hey, Meiji. One body shot with a Discord, which would mean, like, not even fully inducted. I mean, heck, Mercy could whip out a pistol and land 2 or 3 shots, and this kid's dead. All, like, a single body shot, or 2 body shots or headshot, and the Fate is dead. So, again, Fate gets away with murder. And partially due to Late Young's error here. Again, okay, so Jonek's in a much better positioning here. He's in a position where he can rotate back. Animo is still kind of out in the open, but right now they kind of have tabs of where the snipers are. He's going to be healing up another ult from Fleta, so Fleta hasn't really needed to make the swap. So Guxu is able to drop and get the kill. That's fair. So he doesn't have to. I was wondering why Guxu was in so deep, but he didn't have to jump to get there, so that's fair. So how's Jonak? Jonak gets kills by the Hanzo arrows again. These Hanzo ults from Crystal have actually been pretty quality. He's gotten way more kills than he's had any right to. So this forces the retreat path into this, and really South Korea wants to set up here because with the Brig they can contest this corner for ages. But the Hanzo ult just makes this near impossible. And I believe Jonak had armor as well. Yeah, he definitely had armor as well. So that's extremely unfortunate. Gooseway dad. What's that? I don't know. Maybe I'm exposing my dadness, but I don't know what that means. Oh, oh, never mind. That's awkward. I'm sorry. Gooseway. Got it. Not Guxu. What's gonna happen the next play? We're gonna see Shy move forward aggressively. We're gonna see Crystal take advantage of the airplane, and we're gonna see just tanks walking forward, knowing they're not gonna get discorded. They can win this tank matchup. Easy peasy. An aggressive dive. Interesting. Massive headshot from Crystal though, and Fate is gonna die instantaneously. They're gonna nano Fleta again, which I think is a stupid decision. If you're gonna toss a nano boost, never toss a nano boost onto a target into double dive snipers. Like, come on. It was a bad enough move earlier, but the Zenyatta was out of position, so there's a chance that they could punish him, and they did. But this is just absolute madness. Why would you nano a Brig when you could nano Fate and have so much more value? Or Fury? I don't know if this was a mishit or what. Where is Leave? So Leave is not on the payload, which is a plus. Let's watch Onimo. Onimo just chucked out Nano Boost. Did he accidentally nano Fleta? I hope that's the case. Please tell me this was an accident. Jonak is dead. Who is the intended nano boost target here?
You're powered up. Get in there. You're powered up.
Was that must have been an accident. That has to be an accident. There's no way that's on purpose. Please tell me that's not on purpose. Because that's such a terrible decision. So Leave is gonna die. Actually gets trance out. They get really greedy. They really don't have to force this engagement. So I don't like this from Crystal either. Like, I understand that Fate is very low, but there's no reason. Like, he's going to die here. So Crystal just needs to accept the loss and back out, and then, you know, capitalize on their much better resources now that they don't have a Zen. Guxu's gonna probably try and solo dive the Ana. Gets slept. That's like, again, like, there's no business this fight going as long as they have no business getting trance out. They have no business. So it's like partially off of China's silly errors, like overextending it, but it's also just like, oh my gosh. And Carpe wins the duel against Shy. I don't even know where Shy was. Where was Shy? Let's pull back a little bit. 1504. Where was Shy? Shy was, yeah, scrapple shot. And again, we have to question, like, how is this? Okay, Gooseway. Gooseway just being slept. Like, now they are getting space for this because they don't have the Zen. They have to push out. But it's mostly also because Gooseway is going to get burst down. Gooseway's got Primal. They're going to get the res on Shy. How does Carpe let that happen? Carpe? Question mark? Who shoots Carpe? Carpe's taking it. Oh, Carpe! Carpe! Mercy's being run! Not even camping the body, taking the duel against Leave and actually losing. So look at this. Look at, I think it's Leave. It's Leave, right? Yeah, Leave. Look at Leave. Leave chases off Carpe. And that's massive too, because they get this res for free because of it. That should not have happened. That's a huge error in the side of Carpe. Not only taking and losing a duel against the Zen on the low ground, but also letting the Mercy literally get a free res for free. Gooseway is going to pop Primal. He is going to get a kill on Carpe. What are we going to see here? I imagine Gooseway is then going to go for Animo again. And then we'll see from there. Yeah, he's going to go. So he's going to get the kill on Carpe. Oh no, he's going to get an armor pact. He's going to zone out and draw a lot of resources here. So this is a lot of resources. This means space for free. We're going to see Shy grapple up aggressively. He might even be able to get a pick on Jonak. Where is Jonak? Where is Jonak? Did Jonak drop? Yeah, Jonak dropped. That was wise of Jonak, because Shy otherwise would have domed him. Alright, let's see here. So Gooseway does actually end up getting the pick. That's massive. And he's going to be able to get out very safely. And now they're all buttonholed, which is exactly where China wants them. Because if that means that the step out in a contest cart, the snipers are already repositioned. Shy has high ground. Crystal has the angle here. And Jonak is by himself. So if China notices Jonak by himself, Jonak is dead. Even if Fate peels, Jonak is dead. So we'll see if China recognizes this. Oh, Jonak, you silly, silly man. Again, hero play. No business making that happen, and I would be very surprised if he doesn't get the kill and leave here. Whoa, he gets pocketed. So Leave gets pocketed and actually doesn't land another shot. So even if he was not pocketed, he wins this. So hero play from Jonak, but it's finally not enough. So actually, the Diva Late Young goes in and assists Gooseway. And yeah, that's that. Leave is pocketed, takes the duel easily. Shy is not gonna die. Leave Animo gets the kill, but it doesn't matter. Everybody's 1 health. There's the kill on Fury. That's big. Really all Shy does. Shy, I assume, still has grapple. It's just grapple away. That's an interesting Valk. I don't think it was necessary, honestly. But whatever. They're gonna prevent hero plays. Yeah, that Valk was definitely not necessary. Fleta has swapped his stall. Bomb to clear. I don't like this bomb. I guess whatever. Zoning, I suppose. And they'll farm up enough ult charge here, but I just don't think that bomb is necessary. Diva roasts Winston and Hammond enough as it is. Alright, so what do we got here? Farm Fest. Everybody's dying on payload. Fleta's gonna swap to probably Genji. I don't imagine any other pick being good here. I don't know how much Fleta plays Hanzo. So clean up here. We expect Fleta to switch. Hero plays from South Korea were not enough. So, alrighty. Now, what I really want to see from Shy here is I want to see Shy claiming this ASAP. And I want to see probably Crystal controlling this corner, maybe a high ground here, possibly. Because the deal with attacking Widow is you want to claim ground or sightlines that the enemy Widow doesn't want you to have before she gets out of spawn. So what is Fleta going to swap to, though? That's the real question. Hanzo. Okay, so Fleta does play Hanzo. I'm not really in touch with Fleta, honestly. I just kind of guessed, and looks like my guess was half right. I have an obvious guess. I really would like to see Velt swap to Ana here. The damage boost really hasn't been any significant advantage here. The only thing that's been useful is really the mobility of Mercy. We have had a little bit of value from Reses, but I think the Valks have been almost unnecessary. Damage boost has not been useful. South Korea's main tanks are way too smart to take engagements like that. At least they usually are. I don't think we've seen a situation in which South Korea has had somebody melted because of damage boost, not even once. So that's basically one part of Mercy's kit that has been utterly wasted. And whereas Valk is useful, Nano Boost is just simply better. So Especially after that terrible Valk. I know we're 40%, but would have liked to switch. Alright, so who is here? Is it Hanzo? Hanzo, interesting. So Hanzo has the advantage of this Sonic, but where is Shy? Shy, where are you at, mate? Shy is going off in a flank. I like it. I like it. I like it. As long as the Winston is gonna, yeah, Winston's gonna be clearing that out for her. Or sort of, not really. Alright, that was kind of a gamble shot. So this is what we were concerned about. Now what this means is with this nano boost, all things considered, most likely rather, is that now this means that South Korea's snipers are going to have the advantage of positioning. So with this much pressure on backline, Late Young is going to have to peel back. We'll probably see, where is Gusue? Gusue is probably going to peel back as well, or at least control, just kind of sit there, just control the area. But this means that most likely both Fleta and Carpe are going to be able to get to positions that they want to, that they wouldn't otherwise have. Where is Carpe? I'm really having okay, Carpe is grapple shooting. So Carpe is able to hold control bridge now because of the pressure backline. Now Fate does take a decent amount of damage initiating, so that's good. But Leave could definitely die here. Leave could definitely die. Mercy's beam 50 heals per second, Nano Winston 90 heals per second, so that's 40 damage per second. That is unhealable. And so the body shot on Crystal, so Crystal has to turn around because of the Nano Winston in the backline, and Carpe takes advantage of his newfound space and nukes it. So Leave is going to die as well. Yep, there's Leave. Gusue does get Carpe, which is actually not the worst decision in the world, because so Gusue basically looks at that and says, I can't help with that. I can, however, deny sightlines, prevent that Widow from getting too comfy, and he's gonna get a cooldown out here. Did he nade? Yeah, that nade's gonna be a waste. So he's obviously not gonna take this duel, but he is gonna make sure that Carpe doesn't hold that high ground. And now he can peel back comfortably. They're in their own spawn. They're not going to kill Late Young. Tanks here are going to have to back out because Fate's going to get melted. Yeah. Alright, so Gusue is going to jump out. Wow, Gusue is actually going to pop in a very aggressive primal. Has Sleep been used here? I hope Sleep has been used here. Fleta gets the kill on Shy off of this flank. So is Shy distracted by behind backline, or by backline? Because that would explain a lot. Again, like the pressure on backline just opens up things so much. It just... No, Shy actually goes for the one. Goes for the grapple shot, doesn't land. There's a shot. Alrighty. The res comes in for Leave. And unfortunately, Gusue finds essentially nothing out of his primal. He goes for a hero play, but I don't really agree with that hero play at all. Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, I think the kill on Carpe was fine, but at that point he just needed to know that it was lost and just fall back anyway. You could deny Carpe from getting the sightline easily. Yeah, especially with Shy dead, it's not the correct play. La-di-da-di-da. Okay, what? Why aren't you signed to an Overwatch League team already? Because I'm not good enough, and even if I was good enough, I don't have enough of a following. A lot of coaches, or you have to make a name for yourself first as a coach. And I mean, I'm getting good progressively, and I would say that I could be of some use to an Overwatch League team. But I don't think I'm good enough to be Overwatch League tier yet. I think we're getting there quickly. I like to think so, but I don't think we're there yet. And also, like I said, being a coach means that you got to get your name out there first. People have to know who you are. Alrighty here, Leave gets rezzed. Unfortunately, there's still a man down, so they can't really control skylines. Carpe is going to be back before Sky. So really, at best here, Gusue is just going to contest tanks, which honestly is really not great, because they have the ultimate disadvantage with Nano versus Valk, so any ult charge fed to the enemy supports always goes in favor of South Korea. And especially with the Ana as well. Ana, I know it sounds minor, but Ana can also contribute to shield break as well, so yeah, so you know, Carpe is already set up in his sight line, and so he's gonna, And so yes, Carpe is actually going to aggressively control this sightline, and this is bad news for China. This is a bad bomb for China. Oh, look at that. This is actually pretty funny. Check this out. This is actually visually funny. Check this out. I want to see this from inside. Look at this. Look at this snuggle bus. Look at this. Look at this. Everybody's snuggling in there. Look at that. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? That's adorable. That's pretty funny. Flood is going to take advantage of this. And again, we see that off of tank pressure, snipers rotate. So like tanks go in aggro with cooldowns, with mobility, with ultimates, whether that's Nano Boost or Diva Bomb, and snipers adjust. Snipers, Flood claims high ground. Carpe rotates aggressively this way. Jonak's positioning is a little bit suspect here. I'd like to see him either on the other side of the plane here, or even going to claim, well, with snipers it's risky, but I would definitely like to see him here rather than here, because with Shy coming back into town, that's not going to be a great positioning, because Shy can contest Jonak without peeking Carpe. So Jonak is pretty famous for having aggressive sightlines like that, though. Interestingly enough, Fate is going to pop Primal, and I'm going to be a little bit unpopular with this, but this is a crappy Primal, because this Diva Bomb did its job. It put them in a tight ground. It set up the sightlines for his snipers, and even though it didn't get any kills, they have a significant positional advantage. And whenever you're running double sniper, controlling spaces, controlling sightlines, and helping your DPS to get the sightlines that they want is really the most important part. That's all you need to do as a tank here. Fate doesn't have to kill anybody here. So yeah, Fate just sticking his head in there is just silly. It looks more like he pops Primal because he thinks he's going to die, and he is. So Fate is in serious trouble right now. Whereas, obviously, South Korea has the positional advantage here. The fact that Fate is feeding this much here and about to die and is forced to pop Primal completely unnecessarily is a really bad show. Well, +1 concurrent crew. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So he does get trance out. I would say that's a good trade. Yeah, he gets trance out, but this is really not even a bad thing for China, because unless I'm missing something. Yeah, how much is actually farmed here? So let's watch Crystal's ult charge here. Crystal, and really any. Yes, yeah. So Late Young and Crystal both build up like the 25-30% ult charge just off of that Primal, and Yveltal got Valk off of it. Shy looks like he got some ult charges as well. Okay, Transis burnout. We should probably see, well, with this, we'll see the tanks for China to try to make a play aggressively. I would anticipate them trying to punish Jonak. They might be able to get Transcendence out of Jonak. We'll see.
I'm back in the fight.
Yes, there it is. So Jonak's crappy positioning basically means that he's going to have to pop trance here. There was really no need for this. Trading trances is not a terrible thing, especially if you're the late Transcendence, but it was not even necessary. There was really no need for Jonak to pop trance here at all if he was positioned properly. He wasn't really contributing anything in terms of damage significant into this sightline. Like, he was poking a little bit, but to really get a good sightline, you'd have to rotate much more aggressively, which would obviously be silly. And he just pops trance because he knows he's in a crappy position, and that's really unfortunate. Now, Crystal kills Carpe, and that's incredible. That's a massive kill, because this just doubles down on how bad this play is from South Korea. Because it means that with all these resources invested, Diva Bomb, Primal, and now Trance, and they still haven't actually won the fight, and they couldn't even capitalize off of the better sightline. So let's see Crystal here. Crystal's perspective, just a fantastic shot. Fantastic shot. The crouch and the peeking, just really, really great shot. All right, so let's see. I don't see, so anticipating what we have here, Guksu is trying to zone out Onimo here. So what he's doing here is by placing the bubble here and jumping behind supports. So if you ever play Winston, you're playing dive, try and always jump behind. Don't jump into tanks. But what this means is there's a lot more to this than the eye, what meets the eye. So Jonak's trance is here. Bubble cuts off trance. So Onimo, if he wants to receive trance, either has to hope that Jonak moves inside the bubble with his trance, and then he's moving into the Winston, which is okay, you're tranced. But he's probably thinking that I need to move towards my, if I want trance, I have to move towards my Zen, which is towards the enemy team, towards the enemy snipers. So this bubble is actually 10,000 IQ. And Gooseway is Gooseway. This is a really good bubble from Gooseway. What do we got here? What do we got here? Positioning, Fate's low. Is Shy positioning? Shy is actually playing pretty far back. Is he taking the duel with? Yeah, he's taking the duel with Fleta. And what this means is that in terms of tank punishing, China has a massive advantage here in terms of killing tanks, because they're obviously the Widow's down, but their Hanzo is tied up with the Widow duel, which the Widow will take 100% of the time, and Crystal is still alive. So as long as Leave gets out of here safely, South Korea is screwed here. So yeah, Onimo has to position aggressively or to continue to receive the trance. Does get the purple on Crystal, who will wall climb away. Where's Late Young? Late Young needs to matrix this. Yikes. Again, plays. Alex, I'll take plays that shouldn't have happened for 2,000. Like, oh my goodness gracious. Like, Shy decides, screw that, I'm not taking that duel. Fleta rotates. I still think China wins this because... Yeah, I still think China wins this. Because Gooseway's positioning here is just absolutely deadly, and Jonak's about to come out of trance. Gooseway jumps in aggressively. I'm a little concerned about this because he does not have Bubble. With Bubble, this jump is perfectly acceptable, and his armor's also gone here. So I don't understand this jump. They didn't really have to force this play at all. They had just forced South Korea to use a lot of ultimates, and they didn't get anything out of it. So the only thing that can go badly for China here is if they force a play. And that's exactly what Gooseway does. So simply contesting tanks here is okay, because they got the cart from here to here, and they really only need one more push. I don't understand Gooseway's jump here. And Late Young is low too. Gooseway is going to die. And Palm is used. Oh dear. I'm tempted to not blame Late Young for this, actually. Yeah, that's not Late Young's fault. This is the first bomb I would say from Late Young that's actually quality. I think his arc's a little too aggressive, but this is Gooseway feeding. This is not Late Young's fault. Committing this bomb here was, if Gooseway is alive, is 100% acceptable. It gets Fate. That's unfortunate. That means that this card is going to be able to move uncontested for a little bit longer. I think that you'll see China lose this anyway, but it does mean that they're going to be able to push it a bit longer. Because, oh my gosh, and they res Gooseway. Yvel! You have got to be kidding me. How did I miss this? Yvel with a Balls of Steel Award of the year. Holy butt cheeks. What just happened here? Look at Yvel, man! He's like, yo, there's like 3 people here, double snipers, and I think I'm just gonna go for it. Oh my, and Leave gets Jonak. Oh my goodness gracious, China had no business winning this. So what actually went from disaster, because Gooseway feeds, Late Young is bombs right into what was probably already a lost fight. Yvel manages to find a res, and because they're trying to counterplay in the res by himself, Jonak is, Leave takes advantage of that distraction and gets the kill. So now this is just disastrous for South Korea. So you're going to see Fleta die here. You are going to see Fury die here. And I think what you're going to be looking is Onimo is going to run for his life, and they're going to have to recontest with a Nano. Unfortunately, there's no trance here. So, you know, that's a real feels bad for South Korea. And they're coming up on A couple of sniper ults, nothing major here. I think we'll probably see the nano, almost certainly see the nano on Fate. Onimo needs to run. Onimo, mate. This is really bad because he is the last one to die. He does keep Fleta up, but he's the one with the important ultimate for the recontest. Yeah, really sloppy of Onimo there. Yep. Fury dying just right after is also unfortunate, but he died in payload. Onimo did not die in payload, so him moving forward like that was a huge error. What would you want to do, play differently in a Widow versus Hanzo duel? Wait. Oh, like, as in Widow into a Hanzo or Hanzo into Widow? Like, what are the keys for the matchup? Not sure I quite understand the question. I don't think the Diva Bomb was planned for the res. Because the Diva Bomb happened as Gusui went in. And Gusui was not really in a resable position anyway. He was literally inches away from even being headshot. Like, if Fleta knew it was happening, he could have just peeked here and headshot. I don't think that was planned at all. I think Yvel was... This is what I always tell when I coach Mercy players, like the, you know, do it or like just go for it res. Like, the fight's already lost, so there's no point not going for the res. Because if you get the res, you potentially can win the game. So with that res, it was like, hey, you know, we're probably going to lose this, but maybe if I get the res, we win. If I don't, it's no big deal. The fight's already lost anyway. Don't ruin the dream. It was planned. Sorry. It's just, what is Yvel doing here, man? Like, actually, what is Yvel doing here? Yvel has been so out of position so many times this Mercy. Makes me feel like he doesn't play a lot of Mercy. Fleta, what are you doing? Oh my goodness gracious. Onimo literally casts his corpse on the floor of Gibraltar just to keep Fleta alive, who then just dies to a Winston. It wasn't even like he got headshot or surprised. He got tickled to death. It's like, what are you doing, Fleta? I cannot imagine the comms right now in South Korea. Like, the amount of frustration that must be coming in. Fleta, Carpe goes Tracer, that's anticipated. I think we'll see Fleta toss ult, maybe even switch. No, we'll probably see him stay. Hanzo's pretty good in utility. Nano and Winston, that's a little earlier than I would have liked. Especially in stalling situations, you want as much HP maxed out as you possibly can. This is not an orchestrated play, this is do or die, and you need every ounce of value that you can get. And Onimo could pretty much just sit back here. He's not like he's going to be in any danger. Oh no, I just got to toss out Nano before I died, so it was poor. Oh dear. Alright, so he's going to isolate, leave, and Shy. Crystal's not going to be able to assist them. No, he will. They are going to peel back here. As long as Gusui stays alive here, I think we'll be alright. So they do... Where's the Tracer? Where is Carpe here? Carpe, where are you at? You getting healed? Oh, he just recalled. Okay. I think we'll see Carpe try to assist Fate with whatever's going on here. Where is Carpe? Carpe's going to go try and assist, I feel like. They are going to... Yes, you see, like, can you imagine how much more effective that Nano would have been after he had jumped? Alright, Primal's forced in Gusui. That ult clears the middle. And right now the Primal's a little bit of a feels bad man because he can't get that nice cleave on these doors. They do survive the Winston. Winston jumps back in. In terms of ults here, there's really nothing on the table outside of Bomb that will be available soon. So Carpe is demanding a lot of attention right now. Both Snipers and Mercy are trying to deal with Carpe right now. And that's not what we want to see here. You really want to try and not shoo the fly, but only take as much necessary, as many resources as necessary to keep Carpe busy. And then focus on cleaning up here. Because this, if we could kill D.Va here or force out Bomb earlier, we'd have a lot more success. Leave is going to die. Gusui again. I don't know how Gusui gets the kill on Jonak. I don't understand how this is the second time a support should have just simply backed out. Like I'm just at a loss here as to how you can actually die here. Like, Jonak. Mate, like, it's a Tesla cannon. There's no surprises. It does a set amount of damage. It never changes. And it's slow. It takes over, like, 3.33 seconds, right? Yo, Cody. It's okay because Yveltal is a Pokemon? Really? Huh, I didn't know that. Honestly, I'm so out of touch with Pokemon. There's so many of them now, I don't even bother to keep track. It's pronounced Disdadio Gushue. 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 Gooseway? Because I heard Gooseway, but it's Gushue? Goosh, as in, shut up. I think South Korea holds this, actually. I think Carpe still being alive, getting the kill on the Zenyatta is massive, and now they've got 3 on cart, so.
Time to raise my APM.
The res happens under Carpe's nose. Yikes.
Routing charge. Carrier.
That's a big feels bad man. Kill onto Gooseway, who's been essentially by himself the entire time. And yeah, I don't. Even the kill on Fleta here doesn't convince me that this is changing. Okay, wow. Alright, what is going on here? Why is South Korea so split in their focus here? So Carpe tries to shut down the res, but looks like he's incredibly unsuccessful. Or maybe he's shooting shy, I'm not really sure. But anyway, we have a real disconnect with the tanks here. Tanks are trying to control ground here, but they aren't controlling a lot. I really want to look at South Korea's focus though. They get the kill here, and this is the error. Okay. So they've, again, South Korea forces a play. Not again, that's not really fair. It was mostly China who was trying to force plays. South Korea tries to force a play here. They've got one, they think they're ahead, but unfortunately they're not accounting for the res, and they're not accounting for the massive health pool difference right here. Because even though the main tank is dead and the main tank is dead, Mercy's currently pocketing the Zen, and you've got 1, 2, 3 people who are either half or critical on the end of China, and all of which are going to lose their duels here. So we're going to see Fleta die, or no, who dies here? Fleta does get headshot. Okay, so Shy grapples up here aggressively. This is great from Shy, by the way. You either contest the Widow, and risk leaving the payload by itself, or you leave the Widow alone and he just kills everybody. Crystal is like 50 health. Late Young ends up, that's huge from Late Young, assisting Crystal there. Yveltal just keeps Leave alive, but then he's going to switch over to Crystal. Now Shy is uncontested. She's going to be zoning out. Carpe's probably going to die here. No, Carpe just blinks out. There's the kill. There's a target focus. I don't like Crystal's positioning here. I don't think there's any reason for him to be in cart. I think it would make more sense for him to play here. That's a good Valk. That ensures the recontest is not there. Leave, holds door, and that's it. Okay. So what did we see? We saw, a million different things happening at once, but we saw the hero play from Fate, Fury, and Fleta fail. From Fate, Fury, and Fleta. We saw the hero play from Fate, Fleta, and Fury fail. Oh, alliteration. That was juicy. I think, looking back on this, Gushue diving in was a feels bad, man. That should not have happened. The fact that basically Yveltal got 2 reses for free is really concerning. And I'm also very, very upset by the use of Nano Boost, this entire defense by Animo. I think it was incredibly misused, either too early or on the wrong targets. I think the Nano Boost being used later into Fate's engagement to jumping into the backline would have actually won them this point, or stalled out this point a lot longer. I think a lot of errors like that, you can look back on and go, oh, that wasn't that big of a deal, but it was a big deal. That was the difference between an elimination and not, and that was the difference between Fate zoning out, 3 people of a team for an additional 5-6 seconds. In addition, we saw both Animo, Fleta, and Jonak all get killed by a tickling monkey when they should not have been. All 3 of them. It's just absurd. It's just absurd at this level of play that something like that happens. Just hide. Walk behind the wall. So, that was a big throw. That was a big throw from South Korea. There's absolutely no reason for that to happen. Also, we want to talk about the incredibly bad misuse of ultimates here. Diva Bomb was fine. Primal was not. Trance was not. And China walks away with that one. Second point, I saw some sloppy nano boosts. Fate going in too deep. Remember late young pursuing Carpe over much. A lot of little errors, but I really think like just the really sloppy play at the end here really hurt South Korea. All right, what do we got here? Is it going to be China on defense? Yeah, China's on defense. Check this out. No, what happened, Blizzard? Is there nothing on this side? Or is it just on this side? Is it just on this side? Because if so, that feels bad, man. All right, look how beautiful this is. Look at this. Check this out. Look at that. Look at that. So when you fail your geography class because you were too busy training in Overwatch, and your teacher gives you crap, just be like, please, I knew real geography. Seriously. All right, what's China rolling out on? I'm gonna let it play a little bit so I can make sure that South Korea is running what they are running.
3, 2,
Also, T is excellent. This looks like flying goats here. Or floats, as it seems to be called. Okay, yeah. So they're going to run out in floats. Now, China's running the exact same composition. Double sniper. Seems like it worked pretty well for them. I mean, you're capitalizing on what seems to be the strength. Shy is excellent on Widowmaker. Leave seems to be mechanically good on Zen, but terrible with his use of abilities and such. Yveldt seems a little suspect with Mercy, but they seem to like that, so we won't critique them any more than we have to. South Korea's going to go with floats. Now, this is an interesting pick with Gibraltar, but it's not a bad pick. Basically, the concept of floats is it's really not a goats composition. I think a lot of people see the goats-ish looking and they think, oh, it's goats, but it's really not. It's not. The second that you sub in Ryan for Winston, it becomes more of a protect the Winston composition, because for those of you that don't know, or protect the Zarya composition technically, but plays more like a protect. So like, you have your triple support. That's classic with protect the McCree. Winston Diva, that's protect the McCree. All you're doing is you're subbing the Zarya for the McCree. Now, Zarya can sub in for McCree in terms of like what this is it's basically an undivable backline, because you have the Zarya bubbles, you have the Lucio, you have the Discords, the Harmonies, and you have the Brig Shield Bash and Whip Shot. Right? Plus you have the Diva if that needs to peel, whatever. And Winston is also a much better peeler. But in terms of actual function, it functions more like a protect the Winston than anything else. Because what this means is that Fate's going to jump in with Harmony Orb, hopefully on a discorded target. Let's not set our expectations too high. Carpe's going to bubble him. He's going to land. He's going to be matrixed, probably, most likely. He's going to be matrixed with Diva going in with him. Flood is he's gonna drop his bubble. As he takes damage, Harmony Orb continues to heal him. Once he takes any significant damage, Flood tosses him an armor pack, and then he drops out. The amount of time and resources it takes to whittle down a Winston that's throwing that much help is absurd. And what this is gonna do is going to mean that Fate is almost going to be able to solo control high ground if all of this works out the way it's supposed to. Now, Fury is going to follow him, most likely. But it means that Fate is going to be able to basically contest snipers by himself, because the Zarya bubble serves two purposes. It's not just to, protect Fate. It allows him to make much longer jumps into sniper sightlines without getting punished. It basically means that he can jump from here till, Neverland and never get headshot, because nobody's going to shoot his bubble Winston. It'd be insane. Flying Goats, Protect the Zarya. It's technically called Protect the Zarya, but I mean, it's technically structured like Protect the Zarya, but Flying Goats makes a lot more sense. And the reason why this is acceptable on Gibraltar is because the amount of it's an answer to snipers. Is it the best answer? I don't know. I don't have enough experience reviewing this composition, but it allows Winston and Diva to be able to contest by themselves, all while you have an undivable backline. Now, the undivable backline is really not that important. I would have actually liked maybe even Animo on like an Ana instead. Simply because I don't anticipate China really diving this ever. I don't know. I don't know how much value Animo's going to get on Lucio. But Jonak gets picked right from spawn. That's a little bit unfortunate. China can beat this by simply poking this out. If they can get angles and force... So how China beats this is they get Fury... they get Shy, and Crystal on separate sightlines, which they should be doing anyway. And they force Fate to choose one, and the one he chooses just runs away. Just doesn't even take the fight. Their tanks can peel for whoever gets dove, but that means the other sniper is going to be essentially uncontested, because they're Fate can't be in two places at once. Flying Ghost is just basically you send your Winston in super deep with a butt ton of resources to demand a lot. And know that you're never going to be dove in the backline ever. Yeah. We actually saw them Canada run this. At least what I saw in Volskaya, but it flopped miserably because China already had armor. And so XQC was basically diving by himself. He did not get D.Va to follow him. And his backline just got shattered again and again. And he didn't actually pressure the enemies in at all. It was a horrendous flop. So I'm not a fan of this composition being run in maps without high ground. But this is acceptable. Right, so they're going to wait on Jonak. Fate's taking a lot of poke here, and so this is what, this is the concern here, is though, you can keep your Winston up, you can keep your tanks up, but you have, Crystal just has no respect at all for anything here. Like, Crystal just does not give a rip. Crystal is already 70% on ult. It looks like Carpe is, this is interesting from Carpe. No, yeah, Carpe is not, oh, yikes. Yeah, Carpe is, there's just no respect from China. Now, I know China loses this. How do they lose this? Something must happen. What happens? Okay, so there's the swap. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the way to beat this was just to force, well, first off, they got headshot right from the start. So it's, impossible to see how the composition was supposed to be run here. But I don't feel like this was the best choice because Fate can't be in two places at once. He can't shut down both snipers. Now, if they were running like a Brig Widow, like China was running last time, then maybe they're anticipating that, and that's why they're running Flying Goats, because the Zarya helps with the Brig Widow because you can bubble the Winston, and he doesn't worry about Shield Bash as much. But with the Hanzo, you can't shut down two snipers with Flying Goats. You can't, not if they're playing properly. So this just flops miserably. Alright, so they are going to swap. What are they going to swap to? Looks like Genji dive. Genji Widow dive. That's acceptable. So Genji will obviously deal with the double snipers fine. Widow will be able to take the duels. Nothing really to say here. Comfort pick for Flood as well. Oh, he was going to go Hanzo. So I think they realize that Blade really isn't on the table here. They need the more consistent damage of Hanzo instead. So mirror matchup. We'll see how fast China can adapt their positioning here. Where's Shy? Shy is rotating back. Nice. So back to standard positioning. A lot of time has been wasted. A lot of ult charge has been farmed. Crystal's going to use this, and they're going to initiate off of this. Now, I'm a little concerned about the dive choice of target, and I'm also concerned about the timing here. So, diving a tank is not concerning. Especially not when you're running, Mercy, Zen, and D.Va. Like nothing's going to kill. Like, Fate is not in any danger right now. He's not taking any damage. And while this Hanzo ult may split him, Zen Yada Orm, Zen Yada Orb is still healing him. He can still jump away if he wants to. Fury can matrix him from one side of the ult. And the supports are completely uncontested. The reason why you dive supports is so that tanks have to turn around and deal with in the backline, which opens up your snipers to either A, melt the tanks, or take the aggressive duels with the enemy with the enemy DPS, because now the enemy DPS are also unsupported. So this is just, I don't understand this at all. This just makes zero sense to me. Like, he's obviously not going to get that kill. He's committed a cooldown, found nothing out of it, and now he's open to his snipers being unsupported. Yeah, we might even see a counter dive here.
Time to rid my
I mean, if nothing else, you have seen an ultimate from Crystal that has been completely wasted. What I would have preferred is to either catch Jonak in rotation and use your Hanzo ult then. So, you know, kind of let the payload get around the corner, then toss your ult, maybe even this way. So, like, toss his ult this way to force Jonak to rotate this way. And then when Jonak rotates here, this is when you execute your dive and you get onto the back line here. That would have made much, much, much more sense. Would have been safer, would have had a higher chance of success, and would have also given your snipers an opportunity to simply headshot Jonak. Whereas because they jump Winston here, the supports are they're just sitting here. Like, what are they going to do? And even the Winston's getting Matrix for crying out loud. So I think this is just an abysmal play from China. I don't understand this call. Layup! Oh my gosh, so greedy. No need for that at all. The elimination was not going to happen. Incredibly lucky there. And so much damage has been done now. Jonak seems to be doing the majority of it. Although, to be fair, South Korea just swapped, so maybe that's a decent amount of ult chart considering they just swapped. So either way, China's not going to be able to take a fight for another good 7 seconds because there's a lot of damage that needs to be healed here. And this means that, you know, South Korea can now take positioning here. Oh, he gets Sonic. Yikes. There's the sights. Crystal taking the duel with Carpe. Not a fan of that. That's obviously disadvantage to Hanzo, especially at that range, and especially considering he's not just used Sonic. I'm also confused at Shy's positioning here, especially considering Crystal should have good scout. Oh wait, no. No, I'm still confused. Was he anticipating a grapple shot? Because his sightline here is going to only extend to here, and clearly Carpe's over here. Interesting. He has sights. What is Shy doing? That's odd. Okay. What are we gonna do here? What do we got for ults here? So South Korea still has nothing. China's gonna probably try and make a Valk play. This is really not a good place to Diva Bomb. I would rather just see a damage boosted Valk and just try and burn tanks. And then the supports to aggressively rotate. Because with this, so I would have liked to see a Valk infrared here. Because that means support, we could like all in the tanks. South Korea doesn't have anything to answer that yet. And with the sights, that means that you could play aggressively, keeping tabs on the South Korea snipers. No surprises. There's. I don't like the bomb. Don't like the bomb. Don't like the bomb. Don't like the bomb. It's not really a great place for bomb. Like, you know, there's a lot of cover in here. There's the pole. There's that. Like, I don't think you're going to catch anything there. And they're not diving with the bomb either. And so that's also a big error. You should never toss out a bomb without some sort of follow-up if you're running mobile tanks. They do get the DMAC on Fury, but unfortunately that is now 2 ults with 0 value. And I'm also not a fan of our map control here. Look at our snipers right now. Like, you can see everybody on Team China in one clump. So even though they are getting the kill on Fury there, it does not mean it's the end of the world for South Korea. Because South Korea can just turtle. And you're going to see a trance here. Yeah, so there's the trance. And so they can just turtle, ride this one out. Meanwhile, where is Carpe? Carpe at least has an angle here. And now, yeah, and so Gooseway overextends into that. Gets greedy. And dies almost with Primal. Leave does get Carpe. Where is Leave? No idea. He's right there. Flank from Fleta. And so, they C9. But whatever. That was that fight. Like, that should not have gotten as far as it had. If simply South China had found more value from their ultimates, that also could have been disastrous. There's actually, unless a couple of plays are made from Leave, and I think this was actually very winnable for South Korea. Could have gone a lot worse for sure. What is China gonna roll on out here? Ha! All right, boys. You thought it was bad enough in comp. It's here. It is the Protect the Bastion. It is escort the president. It is the pirate ship composition that everybody hates. And they're throwing the brig on it too. Brig's purpose here is literally just to cycle for the Orisa shields and shield bash anybody who touches it. I like the brig choice here. You know, the brig is being used at the expense of the additional DPS, but if you're gonna all in on your Bastion, the brig is definitely the correct choice here. It does mean that there is going to be absolutely no map control on the side of China. They're not going to be able to control high ground whatsoever. You're probably not even going to see Late Young leave the vicinity of the payload because his job is also to protect the Bastion. That being said, I mean, if the play executes properly, that's perfectly acceptable. My only concern is that once it crosses into here, that Crossfire is going to screw you over. So Crossfire is going to be incredibly important here. Onimo is probably thinking his lucky stars that he's stuck with his Ana pick. And actually, the lack of Hanzo is not great, but Fleta's armor pack is still of use here. So Onimo really has to step. If Onimo lands the ability here, Onimo, it's going to be huge. Onimo. Onimo probably is rotating here. Yeah, Onimo is rotating. All right, we're going to see Onimo probably rotate all the way to here. And this is going to be in Late Young. Late Young. If Late Young doesn't eat Sleep Grenade, this is GG. I don't even like I don't even like that from Late Young. Don't even like it. There's no need for it. No need for it. Where's Onimo? Onimo, where you at, mate? Where you at? Why are you staying here? I don't like this from Onimo, actually. Like, where is the position of the cart here? It just has to get here. I don't. Maybe can you see that from there? Can you see that? Let's see if you can see that. Thank you for the tea. Alright, can he see that? Nah, yeah, I don't understand his position here. I would feel like he would have gone a little bit more aggressively here. Because a solo DB is not going to kill you, Zana. Alrighty, we're getting close. What's gonna happen? Fleta's Carpet gonna drop? Where's Jonak? Why isn't Jonak positioned more aggressively? This is confusing from Korea. Is it? So they're gonna drop. Fury's gonna drop. Fleta's gonna drop. There's the bubble. Fleta should melt here. Fleta is going to back out. Thank you. Taking my daily dose of heroin. Don't mind me. Yeah, Fleta's going to melt here. And they just use cooldowns too. So, man, what is South Korea going to pull up their sleeve here? Like, there has to be a hero play here. What is going to happen in the next... Somebody figure this out. What is going to happen in the next 2 seconds? Because I've not seen this. I've not even seen it live. That is going to stop China from winning this. Fate has no bubble. Fate has no jump. When Fate drops, he's going to get melted. You see that, boys? That's how China loses it. The fact that China let South Korea push it like a meter further is going to be how they lose it. Now, Late Young, please tell me that Late Young has to see this, right? He has to see this. He has to eat this. He's really low on Matrix. Yikes. What was he matrixing? What was Late Young Matrix? Like, what on earth was Late Young using Matrix? And the shield has not even been broken. Ay, caramba! Why are you Matrixing him, Winston? So he has to... So, this is really unfortunate, mate. This is really unfortunate. So... Late Young doesn't realize that... Yeah, he doesn't realize that... Look at the extent of this shield here. So, this is the edge here. I don't know if you guys can see that. And this is Late Young's shield. Or, Gushui. nothing can be dropped onto this shield. There's no nade, no sleep, no damage, no nothing, right? So there's absolutely no reason for Late Young to be matrixing this. Nothing. It does actually nothing, and he uses half of his matrix on it. So this is, wow, what a minor thing, but it's gonna have major ramifications. Alrighty, let's watch, boys. I'm just gonna let it play.
Time to raise my APM. APM จะหมุนระเบิดนะ Ouch.
Engaging shot.
Time to raise my APM.
There it is, boys. There it is. The sleep on the bastion, and rip goes the bush. So let's get back a little bit more. A lot of matrix being used with nothing that can possibly. They jump back up. Payload push. The drop happens. Fury matrixes. Fury looks like he has a lot of matrix as well. Fate gets melted, but hides. Shy gets slept. Now, who does Leave have orb on? Does Leave does have orb on the Bastion, correct? Yes. Okay, that's good. I wanted to make sure that was the case. But the sleep kills it. So the sleep kills it. Looks like Jonak lands a couple of orbs. They just drop on top. And the sleep kills it. So Late Young's needless use of Matrix, and that's it. So, alrighty. Clean up, basically. They go for the res. Interesting. So they're all inning here. China is. If this doesn't work out, they do get the Matrix kill, which is pretty big, and they force trance out. Now, Leave is going to be able to trance this later. Alright, so Carpe is going to pop off here, right? Like, that's the only thing that could possibly happen here. Carpe is probably going to kill... Carpe is going to kill Shy, right? Tell me that. Carpe has to kill Shy. That's the only way that this doesn't work out. So the grapple... Uh-oh. Oh, wow. So Yvel just basically peels too slowly. Nobody, like, Fate comes up with a massive play. That knockback is huge. Leave trances, but the fight's already lost. Why was nobody dealing with a Winston in the back line? Like, how did Fate get away with this?
Into the iris.
Everybody's playing patty cake, and is Late Young? What is Late Young doing? Yeah, they're just dealing with what's up the top. They're not actually. Yikes! So that was also, you know, not having the additional DPS hurt them there too, because once the primal knocks them out, there's nothing else that can melt them. But they all in there, China all in there, and it does not pay off. Does not pay off at all. And Yvel needs to get out. Late Young should just die, or he's gonna swap. Late Young's gonna swap. And swap back to Diva. They are gonna go Ryan Zarya. They're gonna go Goats. They're gonna go Zen Goats. I don't know why you would ever go Zen Goats into a Hanzo and a Winston Diva, but I guess they're just gonna try and nuke the first person that touches. So the way this composition works is just like normal Goats, you're going to try and burst down a target, but now you have the advantage of the Discord, you have the advantage of the Zen damage. Now, the reason why this composition is not going to be great against this is because South Korea already has ultimates to work with, and the biggest one that's going to be the problem is the Nano Boost, because the Nano Boost is going to be tossed onto Fate, who is going to melt everything, because even though you have a pretty strong backline, your Zen is still exposed. So Nano Winston into Zen in the backline is going to be a rip, plus with the rally that's able to contest frontline and the so like China just all ins and it just flops. So I don't see this working out here. Early Valk, the Nano Boost is going to go on. So Fate's going to jump in here, and we're going to see Fury follow. and probably even bomb, and then nano onto Fate. He's just going to contest a little bit. So right there, the cue for him jumping, getting nano boosted, was the shield bash. Terrible shield bash from Shy. So you don't shield bash unless you're there to secure a kill or to protect the backline. So Shy just blows shield bash because, you know, heck, why not, right? Also, projected bubble is also feels bad, man. So they try to burst down Fate, but he still had jump, and Gooseway is not even taking part in the swings. So yeah, this is GG. He's gonna jump in back. He's gonna go for whoever, really. Yeah, he's gonna isolate Gooseway, who's gonna die. And there's the bomb to peel for him. So that's it. Buy it, Gooseway, or Gooseway. The bomb to top things off, and I am in La La Land. What's going on here? And that's not even gonna touch. Okay. So, what did we see here? Pause button not working. So they go in with a bash and comp. Late Young doesn't use enough, doesn't say Matrix properly, and gets punished real hard for it. And I mean, I think the problem with that too was all-inning it. I think, understandably, you know, using something like the Bastion ult or the Orisa ult is fine because you understand that, you know, you're probably going to swap off those heroes if it doesn't work instantaneously. It just doesn't make sense that you would use both your Trance, your Rally, Trance especially, the Trance, the Rally, and the Valkyrie. Because even if you don't stay with the Orisa Bastion, those Mercy's and Brig is still fine. And going into that fight with Trance, Valk, and Rally would have ended completely different. Completely different. You rally your Zen, and then Valk in, you would have crushed South Korea's tank line. And then if things start to go poorly, just Trance. So all-inning it there, it's just like a classic reminder of, like, you had a huge ultimate advantage. You had a time advantage. You could afford to lose that fight, and China chooses to instead. We're going to all-in it. They lose it, and just a disaster. So really, really forcing. Again, China just forcing plays has really hurt them. Okay, I'm going to stop here. I'm going to resort to just...